each of us, myself included, of resorting to hostility or being hot-headed, which can be, it's probably more of a tendency for some than for others. It depends on our personality. Some people are very good at this; it comes natural. Others, just more on the hot-headed side of things. So that's kind of, I guess that's how I would respond to that. I don't know if that's clear or not.
Okay, I am not sure how to ask this, but I'm just I'll be very meek and humble and try my best. I'll try to be.
Remember, it's not timidity and it's not weakness. Weakness is
this is just fresh in my mind because I just attended the funeral today. But in the funeral prayers, the presider says, in essence, the person who has died is absolved from all their sins. Okay, so I'm saying to myself, well, that means that whatever funeral, kind of like you could say that they're going to heaven. So whatever funeral you go to, they've reached their salvation.
I'm not sure. I have to think now, like where that line comes from. I'd have to see that. I guess I'd have to see that. Does someone that does sound vaguely familiar? And perhaps it's based on the assumption that the person there's an assumption in the prayers that the person is in full communion, that they receive the sacraments before dying and all that. But I'm not sure. Like I really have to kind of see that and yeah. Part of funerals, though, part of the idea of funerals, and I think this is very important. This is one thing I noticed a lot as a priest. And I think this also kind of fits into what you're saying. Is that the Mass, the funeral, especially if it's a Mass, but even if it's not just a Mass, the big idea there is that we pray for the person who's died, and we come with hope in the resurrection, and hope, and prayerful hope that they might share in eternal life with God in heaven. So that's our confident hope. We entrust that person to God's love and mercy. Ultimately, we don't know the question. We can't say where they are. We just don't know that, and we shouldn't assume. We shouldn't assume or just kind of automatically place them somewhere. But because, but I think there is a tendency to kind of forget that fact today in funerals. To forget that we pray with hope for the eternal life of the person who's died. That's not something sad. That's hopeful. That's good. But to the point where a line that I do hear a lot is celebrating the life of the person. And that's certainly true. We do that. We celebrate their life. But there's also that other side of prayer, which is part of Christian practice since the very beginning. So maybe that wasn't exactly what you're talking about, but that's what came to mind. I don't know if I'm really addressing your question. I really have to see where that's coming from, where it's placed, and again, there's probably that kind of, I don't know. Sorry.
Perhaps an insight to that could be that they are delivered from the disorder of a sinful world, where.
And maybe the prayer. I mean, maybe the prayer could be flawed too, theologically. If it's a recent translation or version, it could be flawed. I don't know. I'm not saying that it is, and I'm not saying that it's not. I just.
Well, they won't sin anymore.
No.
So, I mean, they're delivered from that.
Yeah.
So.
What else were you saying? What were you saying
That
before?
they're delivered from this disordered and sinful world by death.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so, I mean, they are saved from it. And so, in essence, that.
Okay, it might be
you know.
just in the how do you?
Right. I mean, it might not be like the absolution of reconciliation.
Yeah.
But it is.
Could be that. Could be. Again, I'd have to see it. I have to see it. So, sorry. Mhm.
Okay, my question, Father, is, as Catholics, are we to attend ceremonies or services or weddings that are not Catholic?
Okay, good question. Are we to attend weddings or other religious services that are not Catholic? Maybe we should kind of back up and give a little background to this question. It has been custom for much of history, and I don't know how far it extends, but maybe back to the very beginning, I'm not sure. But custom kind of practice to often, at least that not being the case. Say, for example, if you have a Catholic family and someone marries outside of the church, as in they're not having the wedding's not recognized by the church. That they, like, in essence, by doing that, you're leaving the church. By taking this very important aspect of your life and doing it outside the church. So you get married somewhere else, some other denomination or wherever. And for much of history, and up until around the time of the council, I suppose, maybe a little bit later, it was the practice that you didn't go. You didn't go to that wedding because you didn't want to support that person leaving the church. And as far as I'm aware, as far as I have come to understand it, that's a practice thing. You can make that choice. You can make that choice to do that. Because you could also make the very good argument today, I think, that really doesn't necessarily help the situation. It can cause unnecessary disunity in a family. And that might not, and not going to a wedding, or whatever it may be within your family. And I'm just kind of assuming you're talking about family type stuff. Okay. What was I going to say again? But you kind of have to make a judgment call on that yourselves, because one has to determine whether or not it's going to be fruitful for you to go or to not go. That's a very tough question. It's just a very tough question, and I don't have a clean-cut answer for you. Maybe as time goes on and society continues to change, we'll have a clearer picture of that. Obviously, it has been customary, obviously, given the language that we heard from the examples that I read, that the traditional approach to bringing someone back into the fold was separation and cutting them off, in the hopes that they would realize they messed up and they'll come back. And maybe that's not always the best way to do it. Might depend on the person. I don't know. Sorry.
I want to piggyback that question on kind of clarifying on if you were to be in a family where there is privileges and a friendship and you are asked to be, say, godparents of somebody outside the faith. Or, I know, like, if you are Catholic and you want to find godparents for your child, they need to be Catholic.
Right, or at least one of them does.
Right. So how does that work?
The other way?
Yeah.
If a non-Catholic asks you to be godparents?
What a way to evangelize.
That's right. A wonderful opportunity. My initial reaction, I guess I'd probably just kind of run it by someone else more experienced than I, but my initial reaction to that is probably okay, as long as you're not signing something that says you've got to profess the faith of the specific faith of that other denomination or something like that. If it's that wide open, my gut reaction is that, but I guess I kind of run it by someone else more experienced than I. I do that a lot with my pastor, 2 years as a priest and really only 1 year of actually functioning, or at least in a parish, that is. All kinds of interesting pastoral situations. And believe me, it becomes more and more bizarre. Wow. There's, as the deacon in our parish, recently ordained Deacon David Allen at Blessed Sacrament La Crosse, he has been doing a lot of the baptism preparation for couples and families and single parents and whoever it is that comes in requesting baptism for their child and some other things, and I've worked with him on that. And he always said right from the very beginning, it's all non-standard. Like there is just no kind of ordinary situation anymore. It's all non-standard. So it really requires a very difficult application of we do know, and certainly ask those more experienced than us.
Going back to the salvation question, would it be best to say that, in a sense, through God all things are possible, so there can be salvation outside the church, but is it really still, isn't the message still that salvation...
First of all, with all things, with God all things are possible. God wills, He desires the salvation of all men. Okay, I'm sorry.
But through our Catholic Church and our Catholic faith, isn't that where we should be? In a sense, isn't that what the church believes, is that we have the fullness of the faith and the sacraments and the tools that Jesus gave us? Should we be more strong about that argument? Or should we be, should we be more strong?
As in being certain that we have salvation? Is that what you're saying? Or I'm not sure if I understand.
Whether the Catholic Church, or whether we are saying that salvation,
should we be more confident about the fact that we got the truth on that? Is that what you're saying?
Not me personally, but the church has, otherwise, why isn't it okay that I go to Hilltop or Lutheran or...
Yeah, I think we should be more confident about that.
Do we do a good job of that?
And again, I'm not sure if I caught your whole question, but so I'm not sure if I'm answering.
I don't know how to answer. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm not.
What is the point of the topic tonight, though? I guess what's the answer? Is it best? Are we in the right place? Is that?
Yeah, to have confidence that to recognize that. I think thank you. Part of the idea behind this topic tonight is to better educate ourselves from falling into this tendency to kind of a relativism. And when we're confronted with so many different religious beliefs out there, and the fact that so many are out there, there is so much a tendency to look at that and say, well, maybe God reveals Himself in different ways, through the Islamic religion, or that salvation comes through Christ, where the fullness of the faith resides. Okay, and from where it comes. That's important for us to know. To know that and to be able to spread it.
What message do I give my children, in a sense? Is it okay to marry an outside, and as long as they're in some